my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Oh, well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone.
Hello everybody, welcome to Heidbangers. This is episode number 8. I'm Matty, joined tonight by Scott. Scott, how you doing?
Hello, all good here, all good.
Good, loving your t-shirt.
It's a leather bear. Don't ask, don't tell. That's all I'm saying. Okay, move on.
No bother. Alex, Alex, how you doing?
I'm fine, mate. I'm absolutely brand new. I've just got a shit t-shirt on the night, so just black. Ricky Gervais.
That's what I've gone for the night as well. What about it? Slimming, as we found out before we started. Charlie, how you doing?
All right, mate. I went for the old 2001, I think it is, home top the night. So, all good.
Good vintage. And Neil, how you doing?
I'm good. I've got a Johnny Cash stroke Weekend Offender t-shirt where it was like one of his actual post-it notes or like a to-do list where he's got things like kiss June, kiss no one else, play the piano, go for a pee, don't write lists and stuff like that. So it's quite good. I'm obsessed with like to-do lists. So I don't write a list. That was the last thing he put on it.
Have you ever seen Sean Locke doing his stand-up where he comes on his character? It's called Johnny Cash.
No.
So he gets in. It's on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious. Like Sean Locke's was a very, very funny man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but he gets introduced as Johnny Cash, and he comes on. He's dressed in black, and he says, "Oh, everybody says Johnny Cash. Are you the guy that sang all these hits and dresses in black?" And all that. He goes, "No, I've just got the same name." but then he does the rest of the act as the character Johnny Cash. You should look it up on there. In fact, I'll post it in our group later on. It's really funny. Stephen, how are you doing?
I'm not bad. I've just went for the old eat, sleep, Hibs, repeat t-shirt. Can't go wrong, especially after the weekend we've all had with Hibs, so it's all good.
No, always in that order as well, with Hibs.
Well, I know it was in that order, but you know.
I can't believe that I've literally become a cliche. 2 episodes in, I've turned it into a fashion podcast. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry.
I didn't think that's a bad thing, to be fair. We could all do with a wee bit of advice now and again.
Talking about steering the conversation. Ooh, who are you wearing?
Well, I can't be Gok 1, but because we're in Scotland, I could be Gok 2. Right.
Just end it there.
Just there, that's it. We're done now. Early. So, housekeeping, that's what we call it, isn't it? When you have to go and sort of give your disclaimers and stuff. So, Heidbangers, if you're new to it, is our mental health chat podcast. But we would always say we are not, by any stretch of the imagination, experts at anything in life. Well, Alex, you're a good joiner. So you're an expert. I don't know what everybody else does. So we have one expert, but we're not mental health experts. So don't take anything that we talk about tonight as advice. We may touch on topics that some people may find triggering, so be careful with that. And we would always recommend that if you're in a bad place, talk to somebody, but particularly talk to somebody professional that can give you the help that you might need. So tonight we are just kind of catching up just to see how everybody's getting on and how life's treating everybody. So I'm going to try not to direct the conversation too much, but Scott, you're at kind of first clockwise for me. So how's life for you at the moment?
Not bad. Storm-wise, things going on in the world-wise, but the only thing I'm worried about is I'm returning to the office a week tomorrow. I don't like the way they call it return to work because I've been working for 2 years at home, so don't call it return to work, call it return to the office. So a week Monday, I'm going in for the day for the first time in 2 years, and I'm, to be honest, I'm really panicking over it. Trains, people, what do I do? How, so apart from that, all good. But yeah, it's, don't want to go in.
That be your first time back in office since lockdown?
2 years. Mid-March. So we're coming to the anniversary in mid-March. So 2 years in March. And by the way, I am a civil servant, so which is the most boring job. It's a cock-blocking job. If you ever talk at a party and you go, I'm a civil servant, everyone's eye just plays over and you go, I'm going to go talk to them over there because that's literally just killed the conversation. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to have to do it. So what are you going to do?
Well,
And
has
your
the
work?
experience to gone back in?
What's that? Sorry.
So has anybody else had any experience of going back into the office since lockdown?
I've been in quite a lot. Like, I prefer, like, I think it's good to go back in that, because like your work's your work and your home's your home. And sometimes you have a difficult day at work. It's good just to have like that commute or take it away and then come back home. And like, there'll be people who can't work at home. Do you know what I mean, Alex? And I suppose
Aye.
you'd be struggling to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, but for me, I quite like that, and I felt more professional in that as well when I was doing it. But it's interesting. I think I'm hoping that more companies are going to like take on board people coming back. How can we help them? You know what I mean? Reach out to them. Is there any sort of provisions you would have in place? Anything that you'd want us to do? Because it is a big thing. If you've not done it for 2 years, do you know what I mean? It's like you're starting again, and it is a big emotional thing. So I feel for you, like, but
so I only have to do 2 days a week in the office, but to wean me in, they're only giving me 1 day a week for a couple of weeks. So it's Monday, it's done, got it over with. I can spend the rest of the time at home. But I know what you said about I have a 42-minute train journey each way. That's my time. Don't have to talk to anyone. I can listen to my music. I can listen to a podcast. That's my time. If anyone gets on the train, I know I'm like, oh no, I've got to talk to someone. This is not good. This is, but yeah, that's my quality time.
That's the worst thing, and I hate things like that. Like, believe it or not, right? Because obviously this is probably not the thing for if you talk to people on podcasts. It's probably not the thing. I hate talking to people. Like, see, I get dead awkward about it. Just I secure I'm all right. I kind of putting on a bit of a front and battering on, but see things like if somebody gets on the bus that I know that ruins my bus trip, like properly. Just, there's maybe
I'm the exact same.
Yeah, you feel like you have to be entertaining for the whole trip, and I'm like, I just wanted to listen to this tune, and I wanted to read my book, you know.
And it's that awkward thing where you're having a conversation that you know that loads of strangers are going to hear, and you're like that. So as you're saying, you make it entertaining, but you don't want to make it too entertaining, and you don't want to make it boring. And it's so awkward. I'm the same. Like, and I could be on the bus or the tram, and I'm like that. There's somebody that I know, and it's like somebody that I know well. And even if there's a spare seat, and that's the only one next to them, I'm like that. Do I take it or do I just stand and hide? And it is that. It's so awkward. It's so awkward.
I got a reputation in work for knowing when people to leave me alone. So if I went out for a fag break and then people would come out and join me, I'd just go. No. I had a secret bush which I would hide behind the bush so no one would see me. So I'd make sure no one was in, and I'd hide behind the bush and just be like, I don't know if it's looking for 5 minutes. I'm hiding in a bush, no one can see me. And then people like literally see me walking out hiding from it. Like, I look like I'm being weird, but I don't care. That was my 5 minutes away from people in the bush. I hope it's still there when I go back. That's
massive now, eh? You're like, you'll be able to take somebody with you.
Don't come in my bush.
We would. So I think I was in the office 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years. So I actually started a new job in lockdown, and so went for the first however many months without having met anybody in person. And then we went into the office, and I have to say I quite liked it. I was a wee bit nervous about going in, but the bus trip was nice because I hadn't been that long on a bus for ages. But just sitting, like you say, with headphones in, just switch off for an hour, and then having that company. I didn't realise how much I missed people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like you obviously you have Scott, but I miss it. I liked being around people and having, do you know, like the off the side of your desk chats that you can have with somebody at work where they just come up and you'll talk bullshit for 5 minutes and then kind of crack on with what you were doing. I missed that side of it. But there was definitely nervousness.
Realize how little work I do. Like, it's fine. You can blame the internet, you can blame anything, but when you're in the office, they're like, why are you sat there playing on your phone, smoking in the office? I'm like, this is what I do. This is how I relax. Like, why are you? I'm just worried, but that's it. It'll be fine. And let's say it's been 2 years, so it's like starting a job again. But I should say, people.
I was like that when I came at my job, when I went back to work the first time during lockdown. Because the first lockdown I was off work, I was on furlough, so I I wasn't even working. So I was on furlough for like 7 months. And when I eventually did go back into work, I didn't know what to do. Like, I felt like literally like it was going back to the first day of school. And like, who do I talk to? It's this person. Even though I knew all the people that I work with, and I'm all pretty tight with the people that I work with, it was, do I know this person? Can I sit beside this person at lunch and everything like that? Are they got to have a joke with me and things like that? And I struggled like big time. Like, I think I went for easily about sort of 3-4 months to like really readjusting to things, and it was fucking terrible. Like, I agree with you guys. Like, see, when I get on the bus at night, that's it. I don't talk to anybody. If I see somebody, I do just give them a wave just to know that I'm being antisocial. I'm not even going to lie about it. But it's just a case of headphones in, music on, that's it. If I see somebody, as I say, I'll give them a wave, but that's it. Because I'm not being right. I need to tell you this, right? Because it was the best thing I'd done when I was coming back for furlough the first time. I work at New Haven, right? So I have to get, most mornings I have to get 2 buses, So I'm on the 21 bus. And on the 21 bus, just before I got off, 2 junkies got on, right? I mean, I know you shouldn't really say that word, but I don't know what else. I don't know what other word to use, right?
I remember this actually. I'm sure I remember. Aye.
Being on the bus.
Right. So I get on the bus, and what the guy actually proposed to the lassie on the bus. Swear to God, that is true. And me, boom, on the like, as I say, I didn't speak to anybody on the bus. I just happened to look up at that point. I'm like, snap. Honestly, I swear to God, nobody believed me. Honestly, I told my 2 best mates, and not one of them believed me that it happened. I was like, nah, I'm sorry. And I wasn't got to do it, but I put it on Facebook and that, and it just fucking exploded, So that was like my first week back at work, And I was like, that's just made it worthwhile for me. Do you know what I mean? Because, I mean, whenever I'm in work, I have to have a laugh and a joke with people. If I'm not laughing and joking with people, there's something wrong. Do you know what I mean? I just have to do it. You know? So that but I really struggled with just getting back and reaffirming sort of just boundaries and things like that with people, how far I could push people, how far I couldn't push people, and how much I could and couldn't get away with. And that took me ages to get over. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like, have you ever been in the situation where you will make a joke and it is funny? Like, you didn't intend to hurt anybody, nothing in your mind, nothing you have said is hurtful. But then you say it, and the person that you think is going to be funny with doesn't laugh. And it's a big fucking meltdown. Pardon the French, but it's a big meltdown. And then it's like, oh fuck. Like, what else can I do?
I was just joking.
Even when I say things like, I was just joking. Oh well, that's not very good. That's not acceptable. I'm like, but it's a joke. But we didn't find it funny. But it's a joke. Like that, it was just back and forward. Honestly, how far this went was unbelievable. It's a joke, you know. But that's just me. Sorry, I've went completely off track there.
I need to get a bus this week. I might propose to somebody on the bus.
Did she say yes?
I was going to say,
she did say yes. All right, good.
I'm not joking. Honestly, I put this up on Facebook. I put it up on my Twitter, and honest to God, before the end of the night, my phone just fucking exploded. People sharing this footy. One of my mum's pals, who stays away up in Fraserburgh, away past Aberdeen, she got the footy. The one that I took on the bus. That's how far it went. Honestly.
What about you, Charlie? Like, how's your experience been with work?
I've been back and forward since I started a new job in May last year, so just as everything opened back up, and I've been in the office a couple of days a week ever since, so it's not really been hard to adjust to it. I've got the flexibility where I can work from home if I can't be sat going in, or so it's pretty good that way. But no, I'm pretty easy with going back to stuff. It didn't really take too long to adjust to it. I think the bit that took the most to adjust to was the wearing the mask, because obviously when you work from home, you then need to do that, but working in the office, you do. So that's been a difficult one to adjust to. But apart from that, it's been pretty good.
You need to design masks that look like the bottom of your face. I'm
I
sure
would
that
buy
must
somebody else's one.
have been done already, but
Aye.
we surely have to get these printed, and then you could just sit with the bottom of your own face on it. Alex, what about you? How's things been with you?
I've had to adjust this week to work. My dad retired last week, and it's just me and him that work together. So I genuinely have noticed myself talking to myself a hell of a lot more than I normally would. And my dad's not there to bounce off, so it's been a bit strange, but I'm just going to have to get used to it. So that side of things has been just odd. I didn't have to go into an office or anything like you guys, but I wish I could work from home, but my arms aren't long enough. So,
Taking this to pickles an apprentice.
So that's about it for me. Just that's a big change this week.
Dad coping with
Nothing much
retirement?
else.
Is he loving it?
Sorry?
How's your dad coping with retirement? Is he like still?
Oh, he's quite happy. He's got a garage to play in where he's just making stuff, and he's he's only been retired a week, and the kids have been off, and my mum's been off, so it's not really experienced his retiral routine yet. So we'll soon see how it goes.
Hey, well, see if I'd been retired a week and my kids had been off that same week, I probably would have unretired by the end of the week.
Well, saying that, he did actually come out and give me a hand with a job on Thursday, and he was really pissed off because I asked him. So, but he'll be fine. So that's a big change for me, adjusting to that.
How have things been in general for you there away from work, Alex?
Fine, just we had these retiral do, and had a few things with the kids. My daughter's got a dance show coming up, so we're kind of focused on that. And for whatever reason, I've had a lot of drink the past 4 weekends, and I've sat back and went, fucking hell, I've had shitloads of drink for no reason whatsoever. So I'm noticing that. I'm not particularly doing it for any reason, just having drink and realising at the time that I'm overdoing it and getting to the point where I'm having beers and just going, I've had enough. Like sitting there, I'm not even enjoying it. So I'm going to need to change my drink.
It's a funny one that though with drinking. I'm like that a lot. So I'll either like I can drink and I can be drunk like maybe straight away. First sip, that's me done. But I'll just keep going. Or either that I can just plough through it and it's like it's not really affecting me. But it's that thing where like I want to like drink but not get to the point where I'm no like remembering stuff and went to concerts and that, even the football and stuff. I remember going to see Russell Brand a few years ago at the Playhouse, and was there, and there was like 6 of us there. Big Berry session, Broughton Street before it. Went to Russell Brand, and I worked with a boy at the time, and he was like, went in on the Monday. He's like, "What was the show like?" I goes, "It was brilliant." He goes, "What was he saying?" I goes, "I have absolutely no idea. Like, no idea." The only like thing I can remember is afterwards I met Russell Brand, and he signed my ticket, and he just like squiggled it. And I was like, and that's that thing, and it's like, but it's a shame that you spend money for stuff like that. You look forward to it, but you've not got any like remember, you know what I mean? So it's a sort of like fine balance. I was sort of like getting it, but I'm the same as Alex, so I can be like, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. Not really enjoying like the drinking and that, and then there needs to be a sort of balance. But I think we've probably like been collectively heading towards that, the taking the edge off with a drink or whatever like that, because it's just something that we need, that release. But there's a danger. I know with myself, I was like, nah, I'm just not enjoying it. And I'm very much like, if I'm going for a bevy, I'll try and be the first one there. And I could even say, right, if we're meeting at like 3 o'clock, then they want to meet at 2. And then somebody will say, well, I can get a train through. I'll be there for like 1. And I'll be like, perfect. Do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, and then I'm like phoning my mate, will we get a couple of like beers for walking down the road or that? Do you know what I mean? But it's no, that's maybe an exaggeration, but it's that thing where like if I'm in the mood for it, I'll properly go for it. But I'm not doing myself any favours in cases like that. And it's when you have blackouts and stuff like that as well, like standing on the street and you're like coming to and you're like almost getting hit by a taxi. It's like, what is going on here? Like it's just like reel it back in, get home, and then. But that's that. But I totally see where you're coming from with that.
I'm glad I didn't drink anymore, because I mean, like, I can't drink anymore, eh? Just with the way my stomach is, eh? I can't do it. Drink's one of my triggers, eh? And like even if I go out and have like 4 or 5 beers, I'm crippled for days in pain, and it's just not worth it. I'm put to a point now where it's just not worth it for me anymore. But I remember going out on night shoot when I was younger, and because of it, I'm quite a jokey guy. I enjoy my laughs, I enjoy my jokes, I used to love going into pubs and just talking shit to people. I mean, I still do it now, sober, but just like I just loved going in and being social with people, even people that I'd never met before. I still like being social, but I get where Neil's coming from. There was times I'd go on night shoot, and I'd wake up in the morning and you get the dreaded text, what about you last night, and your my first instinct was to go, oh fuck, what did I do? You know what I mean? And the amount of stories people have told me about things that I had done, had said, you just, oh fuck, you get the fear, You get the fear and just, oh fuck, here we go. Like, I'll give you a laugh. I went out for my stag do. We went out, and it's obviously a stag do. Everybody goes, and you've got to get loaded. It's just how it is. On my stag do, I got absolutely fucked on the Friday night. I woke up on the Saturday, this whole side of my face was killing me, and I thought, surely, like, have I fell or something? I must have fell last night. So I says to my mate, who's my best man, I says, what happened to me? Like, my face is killing me. Did I fall? And he just looked at me and went, you're taking the piss, I went, no, what did I do? The fight with the bouncer would answer your question. And the first thing I thought, honest to God, my head in my hands, I thought, oh no, somebody's had to pick me up. Somebody's had to pick me up and drag me away. And I had images of like people having to carry me up the stairs and put me to bed. I mean, according to my mate, I got back up and went in for round 2, which was fine. But I mean, honestly, I couldn't, even coming home on the Sunday, I was sitting on the train going home and I can't believe what I've done this weekend. A, I can't remember it, and B, I can't believe I've done it. I mean, honestly, I think I can't remember when I got to that point where I just sort of came, what, no more, I'm not putting myself through it. But, like, I mean, even, like, I've been out on night shoot, and I've not been drinking, I've been as sober as a judge, and I've actually found myself going out and enjoying it more, because I can enjoy these things. I can enjoy what I say to people. I can enjoy the stories that I've told. I can enjoy the jokes that I've shared with people. And I wake up in the morning and I've not got the dreaded text. You know what I mean? So it's no, like, I understand people's reasonings for wanting to go out on a Saturday night, or if it's a birthday or anything like that, and just getting shit-faced, especially if you've had a bad time during the week. I get it. But now it's not for me, but I'm glad that decision was taken away from me and it was enforced on me. You know what I mean? So, as I say, I thoroughly enjoy going out now and just enjoying myself. I don't have to worry about shit anymore. You know what I mean? Because I was the same as Neil. I used to hate getting blackouts, man. Like, what did I do? Who did I speak to? You ever get, I need to ask you, lads, you ever have a sort of a night out and you'll get a text in the morning, hiya, how are you? Like, who the fuck are you? No? Like, you get that message like, hiya, how are you doing, sort of thing. And I'm like, who are you, sort of thing. Oh, I was such and such. I met you wherever last night. And I'm like, can't I remember you, though? You know what I mean? You could not, you know, and that just makes me feel shit, because obviously somebody's put themselves out there and I've no respected it. So I used to hate things like that. You know what I mean? So, I'm honest to God, I'm so happy that decision was taken away from me and it was just enforced on me. But it's a decision for the better, for sure.
I think that I'm glad about it is that when I had these camera phones and that were never really, not everybody had a mobile phone, but you could actually just go and have the night out, and it would only be if folk had bumped into you that they would ken. It wouldn't be on, like, there was no Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything for folk to
That's one of
about
my
it.
we went to the pictures a few years ago, and I came out and I'd been tagged in the location in the pictures with other people, and people commenting. I was like, I didn't put this on my Facebook. Someone else in the group put it on. I hate that. I hate being tagged. People know where I am, who I'm with. It's just not right, is it? It's like back in the day, you'd disappear for a few hours and come back, and then you go, and I'm singing on the toilets and running. Now they're like looking on your phone, seeing where you are. But the last, I don't like. I've switched my thing off on WhatsApp so people can't see if I'm online, because I don't want that. People looking all the time to see where I am and whether I've responded and stuff. Don't need it. I think it's a different generation. Kids these days will literally pack themselves in anything and take pictures as soon as they walked in anywhere, and it's not for me.
I really struggle to turn off from it as well. Like you're saying there about turning off the WhatsApp. So I came with the iPhone. You can put like do not disturb kicks in after a certain time, and that's one of the best things ever. Like because you could literally spend all your time on your phone. I mean, you can like our WhatsApp group is busy. Do you know, like that's a busy chat. But then you'll all be the same. You'll probably have minimum 4 or 5 other chats that are that are like that. That you could spend so much time just ping, looking at your phone. That way, do not disturb things. But I mean, it drives folk mental when they're trying to get why you're not answering my texts or whatever. But you're not everybody's beck and call for 24/7. That's not what life is about.
I've muted WhatsApp, so I only look at it when I want to look at it, not when other people are asking me to look at it. Like it goes off, but it's quiet. It doesn't say, "Give me your attention now." I'm like, it's over there, as it were, until I'm ready to look at it. But yeah, one of the best decisions to make was muting WhatsApp.
It gives you a lot of your life back, I think. It's about having a bit of control as well. Charlie, I was going to ask you, what's your relationship with drink like, if you didn't mind me asking how you get on with it?
Ebbs and flows, really. A couple of years ago, I had to get up for a month because I was drinking too much, and it wasn't even like a Hibs won, let's have a pint. It was like, I've had a good day at work, let's have 12 bottles of beer, sort of. And 12's an exaggeration, but I was virgin on that, and then gave up for a month. Then stupidly decided to go to a gig for the first time during that month, and I was like, I can't even have a pint watching Noel Gallagher. So that was a strange one, but nah, it's been up and down since then. I done dry January this year, and then ever since then I have like 4 pints, and I'm knackered for days afterwards. Like I think I had 6 or 7 after the game yesterday, and I'm been deed all day. I think I'll be for a few more days like that. But I think family history has not been great with it, so I think that's what I've seen growing up, and so that's what I've grown into, and try not to go too far into it. But not the best, but not the worst, if you know what I mean.
How did you feel with like a concert and that? I've done it like a couple of times recently because like the bar's too busy, like at the Usher Hall, for instance, so you've got no choice other than like just to be there sober. But I find it like quite strange. I find like people bump into me more, for instance, and I can be quite jumpy, whereas I was probably bumping into people. Do you know what I mean? I was probably that person that was like, I don't know, it's just a weird one. How do you find going to stuff like concerts and that?
I usually have, like, when I'm drinking before them, I'll have a few to avoid the queuing and that. But the first one that I went to, everyone around me was steaming, and I'm like, I've had a few non-alcoholic ciders, and this is shite. Like, obviously the music was class, but the experience wasn't as great. But no, I genuinely find it all right, except for like when folk like jump into you and that. It's a bit annoying. But I didn't really have a strong view on it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's good either way for me.
We've been a few. So me and my mate will go to gigs now and again, and we'll take turns driving. And I'd say it's better with a drink. Like we did tea in the park one time. In fact, me and Jane, my wife, we did tea in the park just after my son had been born. We didn't take him, but we took the car, and it was shite. Like, I loved tea in the park before that. Like, it did gradually get worse, tea in the park anyway. It kind of got more and more chavvy, which took a bit of the fun out of it. But you just realised how many folk can't handle their drink and drugs. Than that, when you're sober and you see it all, and then you get a stare back, and everything just becomes like a hassle. But at the time, we even stayed to see the headline act. I can't remember who it was, maybe Chemical Brothers. I was desperate to see them. It was that bad a day. I was just like, fuck it. I'll see them another time. And then we just went home.
I think
I
stuff
don't
like that
know.
will annoy you as well, like the weather. Like I've been at Tina
Aye.
Park, and even if it's raining, you'd be like, I'm bailing, or if it's too hot, I'm away. Because
Aye.
it's still, you know what I mean? Because you're not drinking, whereas if you're drunk, you don't notice it. Do you know what I mean?
You didn't
You
care.
don't notice like the new trainers are digging into your like the heels of your feet. You're like, but whereas you just look for any excuse. But nah, I've done like, I think I went to when I was doing like reviews and stuff like that. I did one Tina Park sober, but I think I still like ended up like getting bevied like later on in that. But I started off, but I was like, as you say, it's that thing when you walk into like a festival in Scotland, the early doors, and the first thing you see is like somebody getting stretchered out already, like wearing a Celtic top, and it's like not even 12 o'clock yet, and they're like that, and they're being sick and that, and it's like, how are you in that state? But then if you think about it, and I remember like for the cup final, so like, what was it, 114 years it took for us to win that, and I remember being at Haymarket. I'm sure it was Haymarket in the morning of it, and there was folk bevied already. And we went through to the Shettleston Juniors before it, and I think it was a bus for Gilman turned up, and there was like two boys, and they must have been about 19, 20, collapsed, where they'd like just drunk or whatever, just against the wall. Roasting day, beautiful, everybody's having a good time. They're just like that. Police came and took them away and put them in the cells, and you're thinking they would never have seen that. They had a ticket for it, and that's it. But it's not as if we're going to do that. You know, like can they like recreate that, even if we win it this year or whatever, that you can't, and it's just like you'd hate to be that person that wakes up and like, by the way, like you wake up at like 5 o'clock, you come to, I guess what, Hibs have just won the Scottish Cup and beat Rangers, and you're like, you're joking. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But then it could well be that we've all been at situations like that where we just kick the ball too much. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye,
Definitely. I mentioned it on this podcast before, but I missed the Rolling Stones gig that I went to at Murrayfield. Like, seen the first 6 songs or something, but just got absolutely hammered and can't remember it. It was expensive as well, so that was shite. And there's some good footies, so I had a good time. But I'm not doing that again. Aye, so that's the kind of thing you just don't know what to miss.
aye. Carl, how's things for you in general?
I getting there. I got signed off work this week. Just got to that stage where Mark was like, "We're noticed you're feeling down all the time, so have a week off," which has been good. I live in Stirling for work now, so it's nice to be able to come back to Edinburgh, where family are, friends. Most of my friends are still here. Now it's been a good week, and obviously, I hate to say it, but Hibs winning or losing really changes my mood. And getting a good win yesterday and a good start to the week last week in Arbroath, like I've been feeling a lot better because of that. I don't really base my mood on how Hibs do, but it's been class, like having 2 wins in a row. It's been really helpful for a good week. So aye, it's been all right.
It was good that your work picked up on it. Is that because they know you, or did you approach them? Or
so I started counselling before Christmas, and been speaking to my work as well about it. And I was saying to them, like, counsellor thinks I need some time off, and they're like, right, okay, well, we'll see how it goes. I mentioned that it must have been a month ago or something, and then just things kept getting worse, for lack of a better phrase. And they were like, just February break's coming up, and because I'm like a youth worker, so usually term time anyway. So they're like, perfect week, just take the week off, don't count it towards your holiday, and go home. So they were really good. They were really good with that. Which first time I've ever had to be signed off work, so I wasn't really sure what they would say. But no, I'm glad that they picked up on it, because it could have got worse if they never.
That's good. That they're really literally going, right, what can we do for you? So that's a really good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, it's been good.
It's good that, because a lot of companies, I know, like from my experience, and like when you're doing things like therapy, or even when you're taking medication, that again, we're no experts or anything like that. So anybody that is best to seek medical advice. But I remember at one point my doctor was saying, like, when you're taking antidepressants, for the first couple of weeks, they make you feel worse. And like works are maybe not always in tune with that. And then do people have the confidence to go to their work and say, right, I'm going to take this, so I'm feeling low, but I'm going to be feeling even worse. And even like when you're being signed off for that, there's like a recovery period. Like, so I've broke my wrist, so I've got like 4 weeks of a recovery period for that. Broke my elbow, and it was like months. But it's not a case of like, right, Charlie, we're going to sign off for a week and you're going to be all right. And it's like, there's no
Aye.
guarantee that, do you know what I mean? You're not doing any like,
Yeah.
you're not doing physio as such for it. And it's like a hard thing because you can't go for an x-ray to see it's still broken or that. And it's such a, so works definitely need to be more in tune with that as opposed to just, you're off, right? Are you coming back? We're busy, get back in. That's it. And it's like, and then I know there's a thing where like you maybe don't need to give them as much information, but at least if you've got an open and honest relationship, you can say this is the medication I'm taking, this is what like the side effects are, this is the support I'll need to be able to do my job. And the worker able to work with you to overcome those like obstacles and get the best out of you. Because there's so much lost through like mental health, people being off and stuff like that as well. But that's really good. That's good.
No, for sure.
And did you feel like bad about being at like getting that time off? Some people like would feel maybe like, oh, I feel a bit awkward about being like off. Or were you quite like, nah, I need that time off?
I sort of realised that I needed it, but I'm like typical man, didn't want to ask or didn't want to admit that I was struggling or anything like that. But I think going to counselling has been a big help for that. It's been, I've been able to be open and honest about stuff I've went through in the past that's brought me to this point, or stuff that I'm going through just now that's making me feel like this. So that's been really good for being able to be open and vulnerable. And I've been able to do that with my friends as well. Been able to, most of you all know Jack Gillies, and we've got a good relationship, like one of my best mates. So it's been good to use some of the stuff that I've been getting spoken to at counselling and just use that with him if he's having a bad day. Or so it's reciprocal when you learn these tools that you can then use on other people. I really like that thing about going to counselling, that you can use it on other people as well.
And a lot of it's quite like just talking, listen as I interrupt. But yeah, and it's just like ask somebody a question, listen to what they say, and that's it. And it's conversations we could have like in the water cooler or like in the joinery shop or that, but it's actually having them with your pals and that, and then giving your pals the confidence that they can feel safe and like supported in doing that. And it makes like a completely, for what you say, so much I can resonate with that. And then it's like I've picked up these things for like therapy, counselling, and then I can like roll them out. So you're not an expert and you can't say, well, I did this, you should do that. It's like, well, I can listen to you and I can say, right, that's the best sort of tool you can have in that, is just to listen to somebody say it. And it's such a weight off your shoulders when you're in that situation, and you do, like, the more you talk about it, like the stronger you become as well. So that's good. That, and even talking about and stuff like this, like, it's unbelievable. I think sort of like, it just, not that you're looking for like somebody to phone in, Matty, or that, or say, by the way, like, he's have like saved my life or that, but, and you might never hear anything from it, but there could just be one person that's got like the strength to like get help that might not have thought about that, and they've stumbled upon like a Daft Hibs podcast, like the 7th best Hibs podcast.
On that note, what you just said of somebody came up to me in the pub, that's a pal of mine, but I'll not name him now, but something really did resonate with him, what was said on the, I think, episode 2 or something. And he was like, that was fucking amazing, man. Like, I'm going through that right now. So didn't underappreciate what's going on here at Richie's People, and it could just, as long as it gets out to some one person and it helps them, then superb.
One meter. That's the way I see it.
Well, I think we've had Sam Delaney on. I think he said that when you talk to people, they go, I feel like that as well. It's like that wee bit. It's they're not alone in feeling it. When you voice it, it's amazing how many other folk have been feeling the same. Stephen, how's life been treating you?
Aye, all right. I mean, I've been better because I'm like Charlie. I've been off my work for the last 2 weeks because my wee girl took no well. My wee lassie was in intensive care for the best part of a week, unfortunately, because she had bronchiolitis and she had a really bad virus as well. So she, as I say, was in intensive care for the best part of a week. And as a parent, it's the worst place in the world to be, because you come to a point where you realise that, yeah, you're the parent and you're the protector. There's nothing you can do, and effectively you've just got to sit back and let it be what it be. The Saturday that she went in, it was at the Livingston game, because my wife and I took her in in the morning because we were noticing that she was struggling to breathe quite a bit. So we thought, just take her in just to be sure. And the lassie had said to us, like, just, I can't remember what time this was. Listen, she's going to be in for the night. That's a guarantee. So, we need to work out who's staying, who's gone, sort of thing, just for COVID and everything like that as well. So my wife had said to me, listen, just you go home, go to the football, take your mind off things. I'm here, I'll head down the fort. Brilliant, no bother. And I got to half time in the game, and it was actually my mum that phoned me and just like, listen, you need to get back up to hospital now. Things have took an almighty turn. So when I left, my daughter was sitting up in the buggy. Yeah, she didn't look great, but she looked okay. And when I went up to the hospital the second, for the match, it went for the bit. She had a cannula in. She had the oxygen prongs. She had a feeding tube in. The doctor sort of pulled me to one side at one point and said that they thought she might have a collapsed lung, which fucking ended me. Like, to be honest, I burst into tears in the hospital. I was like, I didn't ken what to do here. When they mentioned going up to intensive care, again, my world just fell to pieces, because I can't speak for anybody else, but when I don't know if I'm the same as anybody else. I always think the worst in every outcome. I always think the worst, and I always think the worst is going to happen. So when I heard things like she had a collapsed lung, in my mind I'm like, well, she's got a collapsed lung. That means she's got to need to go for an operation. If she goes for an operation, will she wake up? If she doesn't wake up, what am I going to do? Ken, if she doesn't wake up, how am I going to deal? I didn't think I'm going to be able to deal. And if I didn't think I'm going to be able to deal, what am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? All these things just absolutely banging through my head at 100 miles an hour. And fortunately and thankfully, she got quite better. As I say, she was in there for the best part of a week. She left a couple of days at home with us. Unfortunately, I had to go back in because it was just a sort of a relapse of things. But she's back out now and thankfully doing a lot better. So that's amazing for me, obviously. But I mean, it's strange how it kind of works. Obviously, Charlie was talking there about how his work were with him. My work were the polar opposite. Get what I mean? Because I've been on secondment at my work just now, so I was in a different centre to the one that I usually work in, and I kind of got I phoned up in the morning. I just said, I'm not in the day. Daughter's in intensive care. All right, will you be back in the morning?
Oh, fuck.
I didn't ken.
Yeah.
I doubt it. All right, just let us know. All right, never mind. Like, I hope you're all right. How is she? Are you got to be all right? Nothing like that. I never got that anything like that.
Hell.
Didn't get me wrong. I got that for my manager at the centre that I work in, the one that I'm going back to the morning. She texts me straight away. Listen, anything you need, I'm there for you, sort of thing. Don't worry. Ken, all good. But for this place that I was on secondment to, I never got that. I got messaged every day asking when I was coming back to work. And I was like, I can't cope. So I self-certified for a week. Just said, no, I'm not doing it. And then when it got to I went back in on the Monday. My daughter went back into hospital on the Tuesday. And I just said, I can't do it. This is too hard for me. So I got signed off for a week. And as I say, in that week, like, my daughter's just got better and better and better. But it's more for how I am, sort of thing. Because I'm not going to lie. For something that for me was really traumatic, I didn't deal with it, and I know I didn't deal with it because the way that it was working out, my wife stayed in the hospital. I came home, spent all day in the hospital, and then I came home and everything like that. And it got to a point where I was coming home at night, and I'm all by myself as well. And I just was sitting. I didn't even when I got home from the hospital, I didn't even bother turning any lights on. I didn't turn the telly on or anything like that. I just took my jacket off and went straight to bed. And when I was in my bed, I couldn't help. I just burst into tears. I burst into tears every night I was in the house on mine. Because again, I just thought, what if? You know what I mean? But as I say, I mean, it is what it is. How it's worked out. Obviously, talking to you guys in the WhatsApp group helped massively. I didn't think you'd realise how much that helped me. Just even though there was days where, fair enough, I wasn't talking, I was still watching. I was still laughing along with you when there was jokes and everything like that in there, and just trying to keep myself ticking over as much as possible. You know what I mean? So I found that really, really tough.
What you said there, Stephen, about no talking for everybody, like if there is guys out there that are a new dad or even just a mum, new parent, I remember my daughter being born, and I was maybe a month later, she was back in the hospital, and you panic like fuck. You just like, what do you do? The best thing my dad ever said to me, pulled me aside and went, she's in exactly where she needs to be. That's it. Just like they're going to do what they've got to do. Just
my mum said the exact same thing. Just she's in the best place, and like there was nights, as I say, there was nights where I was coming home, and I didn't get a full night's sleep the whole time that she was away. I just couldn't do it. So I was finding that I was sleeping like for an hour and a half, and then waking up, going back to sleep an hour or two later. But every time I was waking up, the first thing I done was I was on my phone to see if there was any texts, any messages, any missed calls, anything like that. And it got to a point where my mum had said to me, because my ma at one point, I can't remember what day it was, basically pulled me aside and just said, listen, I know it's hard. I know you're really in pain right now, because there's nothing you can do about it. But you've just got to try and keep it together. No, it's not for you anymore. You've got to keep it together for Fallon, that's my wife, and Emma, that's my daughter. Keep it together for they two. And I was like, right, okay. And it was my mum that said to me, listen, A, she's in the best place. She's where she needs to be. And B, when they're not contacting you, that's the best thing ever. So anything, honestly, until you're contacted, don't worry. But it's hard.
It's hard,
as I say, I really struggled there. Just as I say, just because I didn't care. As I say, I didn't care if it is just me, but every time I thought about things and just my mind, I didn't care if I'm wired differently or whatever, but wee totty things just grew arms and legs, and the next thing you knew, my imagination was running away with me, and I can't remember what night it was. I came home from the hospital one night, and I went done what I usually done, just went straight to bed, and it was one of the times where I crashed out straight away. I had a nightmare that my daughter had passed away and everything like that, and I woke up, I'm in floods of tears, like to a point where I was hysterical. I was on the phone to my wife first thing, like, tell me this is a dream, tell me I'm just dreaming. Like, she's calming me down on the phone and everything like that, and I was like, I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing here. I'm meant to be, as I say, I'm meant to be the protector. I'm meant to be the dad. And I was like, I'm not doing this now. So I felt guilty. I felt guilty for guilty for days. Even though I've had people saying to me, listen, you're the same as any other guy that will come through the doors. But even though you're hearing that and you're listening to that, you're not hearing it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's gone in this.
Doesn't help at first.
It doesn't help at first. Do you know what I mean? It was only when we came out the hospital the first time that I actually was able to almost to calm down. Like, I could loosen back up again. And even my wife had said that to me when we got home, and I think it was the Saturday or the Sunday, and she was like, you can be vulnerable. I'm here to pick you up, sort of thing. And I took full advantage of that. Do you know what I mean? I took full advantage of it. I just basically collapsed in my wife's arms and just was like, I've never been so scared in all my life. You know? Actually, quite emotional thinking about that. Sorry, lads.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I don't think they'd be sorry.
No,
Sorry. I think it's like I feel like for folk who are parents, you can, it's the most precious things you've got, and the fear. Particularly like that, my lad had a seizure one night, and it was terrifying. We had the blue lights came up in the ambulance up to the hospital and everything, and you think, what the fuck is going on? And it's that helplessness, isn't it? You just like, I can't do anything here. There's nothing, I can't affect the outcome. You just have to hope.
Yep.
You know, that's it. And I'm not like I'm not anybody religious or anything, so it's not like can say a prayer or anything like that. You just gotta go. What will be, and you keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. But it's difficult, and you shouldn't feel guilty, Stephen. That's like can you felt bad about not being the protector or whatever, but you're human. Do you know? You shouldn't feel bad about it.
Honestly, no. I mean, it took me a good few days to sort of just to get rid of that baggage. Do you know what I mean? Because as I say, at one point, it was on me. Like it was absolutely on me, and it wasn't leaving me alone. Do you know what I mean? Just that guilt, and look, like again, thankfully for me, Ken, coming home, and my wife basically just said, "Listen, Ken, I know this has been hard for you. It's been hard for both of us. Ken, you know, do you want to talk? Do you know what I mean?" And Ken, sitting down and listening to her experience, sitting down listening to her listening to me as well, and the fact we were just bouncing off each other after we had that conversation, I was like, "This is right. I'm fine now. I'm fine. I haven't got that weight anymore." Because, you know, for all that it was hard on me, it was hard on my wife as well. It was hard for everybody. My mum told me that my stepfather was in floods of tears once I found out that she might have had the collapsed lung and everything like that. That partly just about ended him. And my stepfather is one of these guys. My stepfather is old-fashioned and a lot of ways, Ken. He will only speak. He will only speak. He will only open up to everybody. He is just a sort of the guy, Ken. I'll stiff upper lip sort of thing. I'll just plough on. Keep, what's that expression? Keep calm and carry on. That's my stepfather. So when I found out he was upset about how my daughter was, I mean that just it made me look at him in another light, and the fact that, again, we've got an expression between us, and there is a heart there sort of thing. It's not just a brick hanging in there. Is what my mother says. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, tough times, but it's. I'd hope to think that it's that chapter's over now, and we're just looking elsewhere. Because I mean, as I say, she's been brilliant since she got home. She's been back to herself, laughing, joking, being just the most amazing wee lassie that I could ever hope for. Do you know what I mean? So I hope, fingers crossed, that's it. You know.
Glad she's on the mend, and I like to say, fingers crossed it stays that way. And you'll appreciate it even more now, Stephen, no doubt.
100%, mate. 100%. Absolutely.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
That was really honest of him as well. I thought that was really nice of him to be so honest. I think that's really brave as well. As lame as that sounds, you saying your stepdad would look away, you're going, you know what, I felt this, I didn't like this. I think that's really brave of you to do that. Sorry, excuse me, you got me a bit upset as well. I think it's really good. I know it sounds strange, but it's really good.
We're almost out of time. Neil, how's life been treating you?
It's good. Like, it's good. I've been off like last week, so back to work tomorrow. Just away on holiday, went to Peebles and that for a few days. Got drunk again, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good. As Charlie says, Hibs winning, stuff like that. So it's good to even have the things where, like, because we cannot obviously guarantee Hibs are going to win every week. It's not every week we play Arbroath or Ross County. So, but it's other things. What can we do? Can we listen to music? Can we watch films? Can we read comics? What can we do to sort of maintain that? And it's usually get it, like, don't know like anybody else, but the Sunday night dread about going back on a Monday. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and I think it must be like the worst sleep that people get is that Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? Where I could be up at like 3 o'clock tomorrow, but I actually feel all right, ready, got my stuff in early, and that's it. And it was funny because I mentioned it before, I'm quite like a somebody for a routine, so I'll do every stuff I need to do by like 8 o'clock, by 10 o'clock. But last week when I was off, I was like, let's just put the whole routine, just put it to the side, and then I'll start it again like this week. So I'm not like worrying about stuff when I'm off, and I feel really good, really recharged. Batteries, like everything refreshed. But then tomorrow by 8:30, I'll probably be like tired because I've had like 2 hours sleep, crying. But nah, I feel good actually. What about yourself, mate? How are you feeling?
I'm alright. It's finished up with my old job on Friday, starting a new one tomorrow morning. So the day been dismantling office equipment in the kitchen and rebuilding other office equipment in the kitchen in preparation. I've got a laptop to set up after this, so then try and get an early night and then see what tomorrow brings. So it's been an alright, bit busy week.
And are you working for like home then on your first day?
Aye, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, not too bad because I've experienced it already with my last job. Because, like I said, I started in lockdown and did the induction and everything at home, so I kind of have an idea of what to expect. So I tend to always, like Stephen, you were saying about kind of feeling the worst. I never ever think things are going to be bad. That tends to be like my approach to life, and sometimes maybe a wee bit naive, but I always think everything will be all right. So tomorrow, like, what's the worst that'll happen is something goes wrong in training, or my equipment doesn't work, or I make a mistake with something, or somebody I meet for the first time and they don't like me. I'll survive that. That's kind of the way I look at it. The sun will still come up on Tuesday. I'll still get out of my bed on Tuesday and try again. So I'm quite excited about it. I'm not really nervous. Maybe I've been nervous just before I kind of start, but now it's more an excitement about it.
Good stuff. But is that thing? It is. What's the worst that's going to happen? That's it. Nobody's got to die. Nobody's got to get hurt. That's it. Aye. You'll have a nervous jobby about 7:30, and that's it.
I'm fitting somebody's front door tomorrow, so the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't fit, and they've not got a front door, and then I'll fucking panic.
Oh yeah, our front door's still standing, Alex.
That's so good, aye.
I would recommend if you do need a front door, give Alex a shout because he's brand new at it. Right, that's us out of time for tonight, guys. Thanks very much. I really enjoyed that episode, and I really appreciate everybody's honesty. As always, again, loads of it resonates with me, and with people talk about how they're feeling. You think I've been there or know what that's like, and it definitely feel better knowing that other people are feeling the same. Well, we've got to say Longbangers is back tomorrow night. We've got Colin. I'm terrible with names. Should probably check this out before. Author of the Best Day to Beast Day to Belgium.
Aye.
Is joining us. And if you missed it, Liam from Retro Video Club was on Short Bangers on Thursday.
It was really good. Really good.
I would definitely recommend going back and listen to that. You talked about listening to the music, Neil, kind of get you in the mood. So I hadn't listened to the Retro Video Club really before. When Liam was going to come on, I kind of put on my Spotify, and it was they're really good. So we definitely
really good.
Them. And
I think they're playing in Edinburgh soon as well, aren't they? Like in April,
In April, yeah.
I fancy going to see that actually. That would be good. That.
Well, Colin and I were talking about going. So if you're going, then you could all go. And what was the other thing? Spotify threw up that the Blur album, Blur, is like 25 years old, I think, or 30 years old, however. And I listened to that again because they re-released it, and it just took me back to like Britpop 90s.
Oh, good.
Awesome. So I was out walking the dog last night, and putting the headphones, superb. Anyway, so music does good things for you. Anyway, thanks for coming on, guys. We'll catch you all next time. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.